If you love exploring weird places and solving puzzles without the game holding your hand, Animal Well is perfect for you. It's a puzzle platformer that throws you into this dark, mysterious underground world where you have to figure everything out on your own. The way it slowly reveals its secrets makes it super rewarding. And the art style is really simple, but somehow makes the game feel alive. The puzzles are great, but they can also be really tough. And since the game doesn't give you any clues, you might get stuck sometimes. But honestly, that just makes it even more fun when you finally solve something. Okay, so Celeste is a game that I've heard a ton about and finally decided to try out. Now, it might not be for everyone because the graphics are kinda simple and it's definitely a challenging platformer. I'm talking jumping puzzles that'll really test your patience and make you want to throw your controller across the room. I put in a good 5 or 6 hours, and while I didn't finish it, I get why people love it. The controls are super tight and responsive, which is awesome because when you mess up, you know it's your fault. The story is actually pretty interesting too, dealing with stuff like anxiety and overcoming your fears. Plus, the music is seriously amazing and really sets the mood. If you're into those hardcore platformers that make you work for every victory and you don't mind the retro look, Celeste might be right up your alley. Cuphead is this super cool game I've been playing on my Switch, and it's seriously one of the most unique and challenging games I've ever experienced. The whole game looks like an old-timey cartoon, which is really awesome, and the music is just perfect for it. But don't let the cute looks fool you because this game is tough, like really tough. You basically run around and shoot stuff, but the bosses are insane, and you'll die a lot before you finally beat them. It's totally worth it though, because the feeling of satisfaction when you finally take down a boss is amazing. Plus, they added this DLC called The Delicious Last Course with a new character and a bunch of new bosses, and it's even harder than the original game. If you're looking for a challenge and you love classic animation, then you definitely need to check out Cuphead. I first played Hollow Knight when it came out back in 2017 on PC, and I totally fell in love with it. It's this awesome 2D action-adventure game where you play as this little knight exploring this huge underground world called Hallownest. The whole game just has this really cool, mysterious vibe with its hand-drawn art style and atmospheric music, and the world is so big and interconnected that you're always discovering something new. The combat is super satisfying too, with tons of different abilities and upgrades you can get to customize your playstyle, and the boss fights are epic and challenging. I loved it so much that when it came out on Switch a year later, I bought it again. And it was just as good the second time around. If you're into games like Metroid or Castlevania, with deep exploration and awesome combat, then you definitely need to check out Hollow Knight. Little Nightmares 2 is a game that gave me the creeps in the best way possible. It's a puzzle platformer where you play as this little kid named Mono, and you're exploring this really creepy and distorted world with your friend Six. The atmosphere is seriously intense with all these unsettling environments and disturbing characters, and the sound design is amazing. It just adds to the whole creepy vibe. The puzzles are really clever too, and they make you think outside the box, and the platforming is challenging, but not too frustrating. I loved the first Little Nightmares game, and this one definitely lived up to the hype. And I can't wait to see what they do with the next installment in the series, which is supposed to be out sometime in 2025. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is seriously one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. And I'm not exaggerating when I say I've finished it 3 times already. Everything about it is just stunning, from the hand-painted art style to the incredible soundtrack, and the story is so emotional and captivating that I was hooked from beginning to end. You play as this little spirit named Ori, and you have to explore this huge world and solve all sorts of puzzles and fight enemies to save the forest. The movement and combat are so fluid and satisfying, and there are tons of abilities and upgrades to unlock, so it never gets boring. Honestly, the only bad thing I can say about this game is that it can be pretty challenging at times, and I definitely died a lot, but it was always worth it to see what was around the next corner. If you're looking for a game with a beautiful world, a touching story, and amazing gameplay, then you absolutely need to check out Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Overcooked All You Can Eat is a crazy co-op cooking game where you and your friends try to cook and serve meals, but the kitchens are designed to drive you insane. One second, you're chopping veggies, and the next, the kitchen is moving, the stove is on fire, and someone just threw the food into the trash by accident. It's chaotic, but that's what makes it fun, because the more things go wrong, the funnier it gets. The levels get even crazier, with floating kitchens, moving platforms, and even portals, so you're always trying to figure out how to stay organized. The game is simple to learn, but playing well takes teamwork, and that's where things get messy, literally. I haven't actually played this game myself, but my friend can't stop talking about it. It's called Pentiment, and apparently it's this really cool murder mystery set in the 16th century. You play as this artist who gets tangled up in this whole murder investigation, and has to find the real killer, and the whole time it's like, you're living in this medieval painting, with all the characters and the music and everything. The story is super interesting with lots of twists and turns, and you get to make all sorts of choices that actually affect what happens and can even lead to different endings. It's a pretty slow-paced game though, and there's a lot of reading and talking to people, so if you're looking for something with lots of action, it might not be for you. But if you like history or mysteries or just unique games in general, you should definitely check it out. If you're looking for a game where you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy a peaceful life, Stardew Valley is perfect. You start with nothing but an old farm and some basic tools, and over time, you turn it into something amazing by growing crops, raising animals, and making friends with the locals. There's fishing, mining, crafting, and even a little bit of combat when you explore the caves. The pixel art looks great, the soundtrack is super relaxing, and the game never pressures you to play a certain way. The beginning can feel a bit slow, but once you get into the rhythm, it's easy to lose hours just living your best virtual farm life. Streets of Rage 4 is an old-school beat-em-up where you walk through streets, punch bad guys, and just cause absolute chaos. The combat is fast, the animations are smooth, and every hit feels satisfying, especially when you pull off combos. The hand-drawn art style is beautiful, and the soundtrack is pure fire. It's got that classic arcade feel, but with modern polish, making it easy to pick up, but hard to put down. Some boss fights can feel a little unfair, and playing solo isn't as fun, but with friends, this game is an absolute blast.
Onward and upward!
Super Mario Bros. Wonders is like a total explosion of creativity and fun. And honestly, it might be my favorite game on this whole list. It's a classic 2D Mario game, but they've added all these crazy new power-ups and level designs that just make it feel so fresh and exciting. Like there's this one power-up that turns Mario into an elephant, and it's seriously the best thing ever.
That Goomba looks so sweet. Well then.
The levels are all super imaginative and colorful, and the gameplay is just so smooth and satisfying. It's the kind of game that makes you smile the whole time you're playing it, and it's perfect for both new players and longtime Mario fans. If you have a Switch, you absolutely need to check out Super Mario Bros. Wonders. It's been a while, maybe like 6 years ago, but I still remember playing Unravel and being totally captivated by this tiny yarn creature. The way he moved and interacted with the world was so charming, and I loved how the yarn was used to solve puzzles like creating a swing or rappelling down a cliff. And the environments were stunning. Like, I felt like I was exploring these miniature landscapes with incredible detail and atmosphere. It was really special. Now my memory's a bit fuzzy on some of the specifics, but I do recall some of the puzzles being pretty challenging, and I definitely got stuck a few times trying to figure out what to do. And sometimes I wished Yarny could jump a little further, because there were moments where it felt a bit limited. But overall, it was such a unique and heartwarming experience, and the story, even without any words, was really touching and made me think about all sorts of things.